The success of yoga does not lie in the ability to perform postures, but how it positively changes the way we live our life and our relationships. My name is Daniel Bradley, and this is In 4 Weeks, where every month I take on a new challenge and a new topic to make myself either healthier, wealthier, or wiser. Like many people out there, my day job is a desk job. You see me here at it now. And I've worked in many different industries throughout my time. My first job was at a climbing gym in high school, and that was driven and motivated by lower membership fees, because if I worked there, I got a free membership. In college, I was a resident assistant at an apartment building, and that was for lower rent. Essentially, my motivation was I can get paid to sit here at a desk every once in a while, and my rent is going to be significantly lower. In grad school, I worked at a church, and after that, a nonprofit. And granted, these were lower income. The first was lower fees, then lower rent. This was lower income, but plenty of good memories and good vibes for working at a church and a nonprofit. And now I work in insurance with a much more long-term perspective. And it's definitely something to invest in my ability to have a life that is abundant and abundant for my family as well. And so each of those career choices had a different schedule and a very different work-life balance. And I'm not a believer strongly in work-life being a conflict with one another. I think that people that run away from working hard and doing that hard work, doing hard things, and running away in fear of just living to work versus working to live, end up struggling the most. So if they're caught up always trying to fight themselves over that concept of living to work versus working to live, the conflict itself really takes them away from the ability to enjoy just doing the hard work for that sake and then reaping all the fruit of that labor. And so balance isn't just always about tension. It's often about the release and being able to exist fluidly from work to rest and back again. And so I find balance not just to be the tension in the moment, but really taking a bigger picture perspective of the fluidity from work to rest and trying to balance in the bigger sense of that, resting when needed, working when needing, and vice versa. What are some ways that you can incorporate the principles of balance and harmony in your yoga practice, and how can that translate off the mat into your daily life? And so I think there's 3 ways that you can really dig into these principles of balance and harmony, and here they are now. So the first is balancing poses. This seems obvious, but bear with me, it's pretty good. Exploring yoga poses that require physical balance, fostering stability and mental focus. Because if there's something true about our physical bodies, is that they carry a certain language that I think speaks directly to how we handle our thoughts and emotions. And so just people that physically practice balancing seem to be able to pull themselves out of a situation, either physically or mentally or emotionally, and see the bigger picture. Because often when you're balancing, and if you really focus on falling, you tend to fall. And if you really focus on a bigger picture perspective of how your whole body is flowing in and out of poses and being able to root in wherever you are, that focus and that bigger picture perspective translates so well to the rest of your life off the mat. And so speaking of that specifically, here's the second way I think you can open up your perspective about balance and harmony is in your work-life balance. And so for most of us that have full-time jobs and we work to pay those bills, creating a harmonious integration of work, relationships, self-care, personal pursuits, and making sure that wherever you are, in whatever context, you're able to prioritize self-care and your well-being. And so if you're finding yourself in a career that is in direct conflict with your ability to uphold a certain level of well-being, then I'm the first one to encourage people to start looking elsewhere, because there's a wide world out there and it's not worth suffering day to day to make ends meet. And so for some people, they feel stuck in that. But I think that long term, maybe you're not able to flip the switch today or tomorrow, but you can start heading on a journey in a direction that you can find fulfillment in what you do, and it's not sacrificing your own personal well-being. So that's, I think, is very important when it comes to work-life balance. But if it's just the work is hard and it's difficult and you feel maybe like it takes a lot out of you throughout the day, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in direct conflict with your own well-being. It could just be taxing and you're probably experiencing growth in that over time. To like a good hard workout or a good session on the mat, you're walking away from it feeling like, wow, I'm maybe physically tired, but I can sense that if I do this over and over consistently, then I'm going to be stronger and have that resilience, that self-resilience that we're all trying to develop deep within ourselves. And so the third one to really unpack balance and harmony within yourself is through emotional balance. And that's cultivating what I call emotional equilibrium through your mindfulness, your self-awareness, your self-reflection, your practices that promote your emotional quotient, your EQ, not your IQ, your intelligence quotient, but your EQ and your resilience. Because I keep coming back to that, how balance and harmony can thrive in a fertile sort of field of resilience. And so if you're really cultivating something within, kind of picture a farmer and picture yourself as a place like a garden for you to really cultivate and develop. The soil is so important, and that soil, that environment in which you try to plant the plants, if it has a lot of nutrient and it has a lot of care and attention put into it, then those plants are going to be resilient. And so really a lot of it has to do less about your balance and harmony as you struggle throughout day to day, but more, it's not the struggle, it's the context in which you find yourself in. And so sometimes those difficult contexts can yield great fruit, because if you take the care to really work through it, then it's going to build a lot of resilience and strength. But if you are not focused on your own awareness of yourself as you go throughout your day to day, and your balance and your harmony with your work, your life, and your emotions, if those are something that you don't pay attention to, then they often cause you to experience even more struggle than what you otherwise normally would.